New York's Attorney General, Letitia James, just can't take no for an answer. She keeps trying to take down President Trump, which is why she was elected, and yet he keeps winning. In her latest attempt, James is asking a New York court to reinstate Trump's $500 million civil fraud penalty that was recently thrown out, appealing a court's ruling that threw out this colossal penalty imposed upon the president and on his business empire, while keeping her sprawling civil fraud case against him intact. Some are suggesting that Tish's witch hunt, much like Adam Schiff's, could backfire, including in quite a great op-ed published in Newsmax. Chris, are these people ever going to learn? Fani Willis, Tish James, Adam Schiff, every one of Trump's inquisitioners usually is guilty of exactly what they're accusing him of. Is this going to end any differently?
I think that his enemies are obsessed and obsessive.
You don't say.
And they're rabid, and they're political animals to their very core. And no, they will never let go. They're like rabid pit bulls on PCP, and they're just obsessed with the political destruction that they feel they can inflict. Abusing their political power to do so, because they're just extremists, they're political animals, and they're driven, as so many Democrats are today, by hate.
Mercy, do you think, given some of the judges who have been ruling against Trump, declaring that the sky is blue, for example, he does have, whether the case has merits, any reason to be concerned by her continuation of this jihad against him?
Yes. Well, first of all, I think pit bulls are nicer than Letitia James. I don't know.
What about a pit bull on PCP?
I never blamed pit bulls.
Oh, what?
I never blamed pit bulls.
No, I know. But here's
no such thing as bad
Here's
dogs.
the deal.
Only bad dogs.
Look, this is such a backfire on what I believe is a Democrat strategy to take Donald Trump down, and their weaponization and their abuse of power as prosecutors, and what we've seen with judges as well. They would, particularly with Judge Erdogan, who basically went after President Trump as well. We know anyone looking at this case would say this is excessive, an excessive fine. This is outrageous, and the way this case was brought about. Obviously, we saw with the appellate court that they agreed that this, and quite frankly, the case should be completely thrown out. So this is Tish's last effort to try to see if she can salvage this case and try to, impose more harm against Donald Trump. But yes, the president should be concerned with these judges because they continuously, they are honed in on what they can do to damage Donald Trump and damage him from a business perspective and politically as well.
Jason, there's a lot going on in New York City and New York State politics right now. And I'm curious, with Trump doing everything he can on crime in D.C., what message do you think Tish James's focus on this very unusual case against Trump sends when there are perhaps other criminals in New York City that she should be focusing on who are violent? This case was always weird from the start. It obviously was recently thrown out. And yet she's saying, all right, time to dig it back up from the grave and try again.
So the case was not thrown out. As a matter of fact, the judges actually said that he did commit a crime, but that it wasn't, that the fine was excessive. So again, they probably do need to go to, I guess they need to figure out what the right fine is. Is it $500 million? Probably not. Well, is it $300 million? Who knows? They need to discuss that, but it's not a matter of him being not guilty of that kind of fraud. And we saw, of course, he has those 34 counts that he got from Alvin Bragg. Now, again, if you want to talk about...
Bragg, wow, he's
been losing, Donald Trump has been losing in court a lot. So I don't know about a whole lot of victories that we can point to, because he's been losing on tariffs. He's been losing on many different things. But I think you have to be held accountable for when you commit some sort of fraudulent act. And that's, what the bottom line is here.
Tish James,
like claiming you live someplace that you don't live to get better mortgage rates.
Or being a slumlord in Virginia like Tish James.
You get it. The explanation for all of this is that these people aren't liberals. They're the left. Right? And that's a completely different proposition. The left is completely different than liberals. And the left brings with them in a little kit the third world. And everything they're doing is perfect in the third world, but we've never seen it in the United States before.